Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Fairy Tale 100 Years Quest, Chapter 48. When we last left our heroes, Nebal abandoned Scullion's orders to retreat and went into the 5th generation Dragon Force mode in order to take down Wendy, which he did a pretty damn good job of, just utterly pummeling her out of her own Dragon Force mode, and seemingly almost killing her, until Wendy tapped into the residual energy that Irene left way back during the Alvarez War to enchant herself with Irene's powers. And that was the big cliffhanger from last time. So let's jump right on into Chapter 48, 5th Generation Dragon Force. Which seems to imply right there that it's not just going to be Wendy beating down Nebal, because his Dragon Force is going to be a big thing here. Anyway, our cover picture here is Wendy and Shelia ice skating. It's scary at first, but you'll be alright if we're together. Sorry, my phone's Siri just accidentally went off. Don't know why that happened. Anyway, so you open right where we left off, with Wendy in Irene's form. Using a former adversary's enchantment, Wendy lights the beacon of her counterattack. Nebal looks at her confused. Cuckoo changed! Irene Belserion. She once stole my body, and our mind and body were switched. Since the time of our connection, only a tiny bit of her residual thoughts remained. I doubt I can use the full extent of her magic power, but I've enchanted a fragment of it into my body. It's from the mother of Dragon Slayer magic, and she readies a fist just to fucking deck him. And she does. She gut punches him, and he's sent flying. But he just kind of grits his teeth. Ha! And then she she kicks him. It's like a straight kick across the face. Goes for a claw for the next shot, and then he falls onto the ground. Cuckoo, so cool, so cuckoo. And Wendy just looks at him what the fuck. And then he kind of gets back up. He has his head all in this weird position, and he charges at Wendy and knees her in the face. She goes flying back. Gah! Ah! And then from his cheek, we see this kind of thing, this kind of coral-looking thing pop up. Oh, I get what it is. He's growing. It kind of looks claw-ish. He's just kind of getting more and more draconic. What is this power? Rah! He's out of control. So now we're starting to see why George does not want them using this form. But he then, jumps over to Wendy, punches her. Wendy tries to block it, and she kind of, does this little backflip to get out of the way. It can't be. And we see it, we get another shot at him. His eyes have, there's no humanity left in his eyes. They're, very, slits for irises. Very reptilian. It can't be. This is the price of 5th generation Dragon Force? And now even his face does not look human in the slightest. It's a full-on dragon's face. He has gone full dragon. His dragonization progression. And yeah, he's now on all fours. He's fully a dragon at this point. Or almost fully a dragon. There's still, traces of humanness in him. And then he does a swipe at Wendy. Gah! And readies a little, blow. Oh no! Irene-san's magic is being overpowered. What are you talking about, little girl? Oh, Irene is there in her mind? You haven't even used 1% of my magic. Irene-san? Why? Didn't you enchant yourself with my power? But how can I hear your voice? We'll talk later. Tell me what it is you want, and I will lend you my power. And while this is going on, the ball is still pummeling her. Wendy is now on the ground. Before we go any further, I'm a little suspicious of Irene right now, because we do know that even if Irene kind of had a half-assed redemption arc, or a half-assed moment of surrender and not being evil anymore kind of deal, I don't want to open that can of worms up again. But the Irene that possessed Wendy desperately wanted to possess Wendy. And so the Irene that's left over in Wendy, I think wants to take over Wendy. That's my theory. But anyway. So she's on the ground now. And she cries out, Please give me the power to defeat the enemy in front of me. Do you want the power to kill the enemy in front of you? No, I don't. We don't kill anyone. It's the power to defeat him. So defeat does not mean kill. Understood. However, he cannot be defeated anymore. His dragonization has progressed too far. He can no longer be turned back into a dragon slayer. And the ball roars at her. Oh no. I can only kill him. Don't! My body's moving on its own. Haha. And Irene chuckles. Which I just kind of did. This magic's too great. Don't do it, Irene-san. This is my magic power. And we see this kind of, like... So I'm trying to tell what exactly is going on with Irene right here. If she's actually kind of materialized. But there's definitely some kind of light that is shocking Nebal. Stop! And we see this gigantic beam of light come, like, either crashing down or rising from the ground. And everyone can see it. From the townspeople to Not Too Unhappy. What was that? It came from the Right Shoulder City. Let's go, Happy. Aye, sir! So now Not Too Unhappy are on their way. And we see just, like, all this rubble from where Irene and Wendy cast their attack. And it looks like Nebal is back to his normal self. Ugh. He's alive! A separation enchantment. I once used it to take Fairy Heart out of Mavis. Don't tell me. You separated his magic power from him? That's right. Now he is a dead wizard, so to speak. Does this mean he can't use magic anymore? I guess that is a way to fix things. To get rid of Nebal's dragonization without killing him. He will suffer from temporary magic deficiency disease, but the magic itself has not disappeared. Eventually, the magic inside him will be restored. Amazing. You can turn dragonized dragon slayers back to normal. And Irene thinks to herself, or no, she says this out loud, I think. If only I'd used this magic 400 years ago. Huh? And then she flashes back to her own dragonization. No, never mind. By the way, yes, I didn't explain. This is a total coincidence, but at the time you thought I was dead. I enchanted my personality into you. Wait, what? You mean she's not like a leftover fragment of Irene? She's the genuine article? Huh. Well, I did not see that one coming. I'll admit that much. So I guess that means my earlier theory was wrong, because if this is the final Irene, then, like, she's the Irene that killed herself for Urza. Anyway. Then, when you tried using my power, I appeared as a result. So, you're alive, Irene-san? Well, I wouldn't say that, since I'm only a personality. And I just used up all my residual magic power. I see. So until I find a new body, I'll be sleeping inside you for a while. That's a bit... Don't worry, I won't interfere when I'm not needed. And because it'd be a bother, don't say a word of this to Urza. Right. Now then, before I sleep, I need to teach you magic for defeating the White Wizard. Huh? The separation enchantment. You're going to turn the White Wizard back into two people. Is there finally a clue to defeating the White Wizard? Seal the White Wizard and protect the Wood Dragon God's orbs. To be continued next time. Alright. So when I first read that chapter title, again, I thought this was going to be a much, a bit more of a Nebal winning chapter. That, like, the power of Irene would not be enough to take down Nebal. And it kind of wasn't, just because Wendy was only using 1% of it, as Irene tells us. But once Irene fully comes into play, Nebal doesn't stand much of a chance. Thanks to a separation enchantment, which was clever. And I think she also, like, that's not just a separation enchantment, that's also just, like, blowing shit up. So yeah, it's for the bulk of the chapter, it's a really fun fight with a great plot twist, with Irene's return. And Also, it kind of... So we know that, the Alvarez arc and that scene with Brandish earlier in this arc set up Lucy's final goal of getting Aquarius' key. And now Wendy seems to perhaps has a new goal. Depending on how good we're supposed to think Irene is, which, again, she kind of had a half-assed arc. Well, it wasn't even really an arc, let's be honest here. But if we're supposed to think that Irene is good now, which maybe we are, maybe we aren't, then perhaps Wendy's final goal will be... Actually, I don't know. Until I find a new body, it seems to imply that Irene is gonna try to enchant herself onto someone living, which is not good. So maybe Irene will turn around and be the final villain again. Wouldn't that be something? But for now, maybe because as she's just kind of a lingering personality, Irene is basically just magic, and so she does. If Toka / the White Wizard whites out Wendy, perhaps Irene dies. Like the last bit of Irene's personality dies. So that could be a reason why Irene would be helping Wendy right now, without just being she's fully a good guy now. But we'll have to wait and see. Again, I've made many predictions of this series that have been wrong, especially with the White Wizard turning back into two people. Which, if that happens, will be the final nail in the coffin on my there is one White Wizard theory, which is basically already dead. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say for this week's chapter. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, or, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!